How I Spent My Thanksgiving Holiday by me. Finally decided to put the effort into cleaning up the nastiness left behind. Apparently somebody at some point decided they would recover this, and I can only imagine that it was just because of this one crack, because honestly I don't really see any other problems with it. It just seems insane. But anyway, they had this really awful looking low grade vinyl wrap that was on here, which had already begun to mostly peel off, and I had helped it the rest of the way. There's still some tiny bits around the edges here and there, but of course it left behind all this nastiness. And I'd love to say that I used a really amazing product, but honestly, the product I'm using primarily to get this stuff off, it's a renewable resource. It's called my fingernails. Yeah, it's working. It's not especially quick, but it's gentle enough, it seems, and it's doing the job. So a little time and patience here, I'll have it done, and these will look a lot better. They're certainly not amazing, but then again, not much in the car really is. Here you can see the stunning condition of my dash. I decided to take some Armor All wipes that I had laying around and use them on there, and it looks less bad. Next, I pulled the visors out and de-rustified things, oiled things, made them generally work a little more freely, and pretty reasonable effort. They're still kind of ugly, but they're working better now. The doors are full of these M6 screws, and yes, they are screws. I know that even I am guilty of calling them bolts, but they're not. Some of them are better than others, and got a parts house here locally that had some M6 screws. And yes, they're zinc. I don't know what I think of that just yet. I didn't really feel the need to go stainless. But I'm gonna replace out the screws in the door handle mount and see what I think of them. And possibly get stainless next time, possibly not. Possibly go ahead and replace a bunch of these others. But for now, I'm just gonna do these 4 screws, 2 on each side. And here they are installed. I'm not really sure what I think. They, of course, are doing what they're supposed to do. And I understand that ultimately they'll just get covered. But that's actually going to be a while in my case. Not that it's a huge deal either way, but yeah, I'm just going to live with it and see what I think of it. Possibly do the others. We'll see. Some of these are pretty nasty. I've decided it's time to do a few more wiring additions, for there are wires which are missing. And if you look at the diagram for the car, you'll notice that the third from the right spade on top actually has a number of things coming off of it, as opposed to 0 like mine is. One of those things is the clock. Another one is the interior dome light. And I've just finished determining that the dome light, the bulb is good, but the mechanism is not delivering juice. So I'm going to work on that later. But for right now, I've just got this wire running from my clock, and I don't know if you'll hear it or not, or if it'll do it again, but when I hooked it up last time here, heard a little click come from the clock. So let's see if we can pick up on that again. All right, everyone be really quiet except for the train in the background. No, it's not making it now. But when I hooked it up last time, there was a click. So, you know, whatever, I don't know. I'm gonna hook it up, set the time, And then later on, I'll come in and see if it's reading the correct time. How exciting will that be? Not very, but you know, it's one more thing working, so it's worth doing. Well, here's that clock set, and unfortunately, it did not keep time. And later, it even occurred to me that, wow, that might be a 6-volt clock, and I just hooked 12-volt power to it and annihilated it. So, oh well, I made an effort. It didn't go very well. Another thing I put some time and effort into was attempting to run wires from where the dome light would be over to the front and down that A-pillar so that I can hook it into the wiring. And I have my trusty fiberglass rod here that works wonders inside of a wall. And with a great deal of effort, I was even able to find just the right angle to work it in and get it down to a place where I would have expected to be able to see it from underneath the dash, but could not. And so I'm left kind of baffled by that one. I really just don't know how it is I'm supposed to go about getting the wire. You know, if that's not the right way to run the wire, what is the right way to run it? No other route I can imagine makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, I guess I could go straight down and then run it forward once it gets to the pan, but that really doesn't make sense to me, so I don't really know. I'll be interested whether anyone has any good information for me. You know, getting it from here to here seems like not that big of a deal. I'm sure I can get that straightened away, but getting it from here down to where I can actually do anything with it in under the dash, just can't seem to figure it out. I was very excited when I found this tunnel cover here and brought out my tin forming pliers to sort of put it back into shape, and then got these bolts that would work, and then ultimately found out that the spacing on those holes is rather different than what is actually on the frame of the car. So apparently it's not going to fit. It's a small thing, but it is nice to have it working properly. So that's how I spent some of my Thanksgiving time off. A fair bit of effort with not a lot of success, but 100% enjoyable time spent. What did you guys do with your time? Anything worth mentioning? Better yet, can anybody tell me how to get my dome light wiring down where it needs to go? Leave it in the comments, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching the video.